No, we don't like Justin Herbert.
Do you know who else is awesome? You guys!
Oh, thanks, man.
I'm talking to our listeners, of course.
Yeah.
Who are hanging out with us either here live on Twitch tonight.
See you, Luke.
Luke's out of here.
See you next week.
Or,
I feel duped.
my bad, bro. I'm sorry. This was going to be your show. I should let you do the intro.
No, you already did it, and you did horribly at it, so now you need to fix it.
Now you have to own it.
Yeah, I wasn't 100% sure I was going to actually be here for this week.
I know.
He's like,
I
don't want a podcast tonight.
It's exactly,
Something like that.
exactly how I sounded.
It was through text, so like...
I'm going to be 100% honest. There's a real chance that's how I feel next week. There's a very real
There's a
chance.
real chance that's how all of us feel
like
next
Monday
week.
we're going to be like, so, maybe not. And you won't.
I'm ready to go already. It was through text, so it's like based on how I read it. So
Excuses.
it's impossible to send emotion through text message. He didn't send any emojis.
My bad.
That's
I
why
will
they
be
exist.
super
You
descriptive.
should just start sending voice notes.
Oh, no. I'm just going to get very descriptive in my messages.
Like in parentheses, I'm really feeling bad about this.
Yeah.
Close parentheses.
Yeah. I cried a little as I
type this out. There's a tear on my screen. Oh.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, welcome back to another episode of the What the Fanboy Show. I'm your host, Brett, here with my co-hosts, Tyler and Luke. And this week, we kind of have as I described on Twitter, a grab bag of reviews and things. You know, we didn't all rush out to see what even came out in theaters this week.
Exorcist.
We didn't rush out to see The Exorcist Believer.
I read the spoilers online.
How did that do financially? Anybody know?
I think it made its budget
I'm
back.
sure it
Did it?
did fine.
Well, it's Blumhouse.
It made its production budget back, but its rights costed $400 million, so it's in the hole.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
marketing was big. I mean, they spent a lot on marketing too.
And apparently
$27 million.
Apparently it's doo-doo butter. And
I did hear that.
I read about it online. It sounds horrible.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's the dude who redid Halloween too, and
Yeah, and those are all not good.
everybody's like, man, I kind of hate this guy.
Oh no.
Yeah, everybody's kind of tired of him taking classics and like butchering them.
And forcing them into a
Oh, even the audience score's rotten.
legacy sequel trilogy.
Yeah. Well, maybe we could just not try and remake or do these legacy sequels, rebuquels, re-sequels. What would we call them? What do they call them in Scream, Tyler?
Not good.
What?
No.
The reboot sequel.
Rebuquels?
Rebuquels. Yeah. Maybe
Rebuke.
we could just stop doing that. That'd be great. But in any case, none of us saw that, so we all kind of have a few things that we've either been watching or, went out to see this week just kind of on our own. And we'll talk about those here in a minute. But first, I think there were maybe a couple new trailers. I know I didn't watch a lot. The only one that I can recall, because you mentioned it right before the show, Luke, was Priscilla, which is the Sofia Coppola.
I'm just taking your word for it because I've never heard of it.
Priscilla Elvis. It's
Oh, it's the sequel to Elvis?
no.
No, it's about his.
But it's about his wife.
Yeah.
So it did pretty well.
Baz Luhrmann's back, babe. Oh no, it's Sofia Coppola. Okay.
It did pretty well.
Very different.
The in the festival runs. So yeah, not surprised that it's got a decent amount of hype behind it. But were there any other trailers that came out that we want to talk about?
I don't have any written down.
There wasn't some big new trailer for the next, I don't know, superhero movie ahead of Exorcist Believer. Can't believe it.
The TV spots are jumping for the Marvels now, so you're probably seeing more of those. But not really.
Yep. Okay, well then let's jump into some reviews here. We'll start with the one I think most of us have finished. Tyler, did you finish Ahsoka?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, so we've all finished Ahsoka. So Luke, for the last time, will be able to get his figure down.
It's the best Star Wars character. Just want to put that out there.
Man, I'm so glad you said that because
Most
I'm not sure enough people know that.
Most people just don't even think about her.
Most people think that the X-wing is actually the best character.
I'm having like
Best spaceship.
I'm having like a weird thing going on. Did I wear this shirt last week?
excellent question.
I'm just gonna say yes.
Okay.
It's possible.
I love this shirt. It was on top of my t-shirt pile in my closet, so it's the one I grabbed when I got home from work.
Nice.
So
Basketball season started, so I'm wearing a Thunder shirt. They play it right now. It's on NBA TV. It's blacked out. Can't watch it. Bummer.
it's the preseason still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was say.
I have a black shirt.
Nice. Blend in with the wall.
But yeah, I finished Ahsoka.
Okay, cool. Well, let's talk about it then. We'll stay mostly spoiler free, I think.
Bummer.
We can go into some spoilers in a minute, but let's start off spoiler free at least. So, Luke, what did you? This was like your most anticipated Star Wars thing in a long time. How did it deliver?
Yeah. Yes, it did.
Yeah.
I thought you were just gonna say
Yeah.
and then be done.
Yeah. Goodbye. Yeah, I was nervous every week for this show. It's like, wow, that episode was great. Oh man, but what about next week?
Is that a product of the Disney Plus shows, or is that a product of just the Star Wars ones?
It's a product of Disney.
Lately?
Just in general. Not even related to just their Star Wars stuff.
Man.
Just Disney, like, end of the sentence. Like, I feel like all I had going for me was Andor, and I like the sequel trilogy movies.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't great or even good. I just have fun watching them. So Andor, outstanding, was like the only good canon thing we've gotten. So yeah, it's just like, is it gonna be good? Like, even Obi-Wan Kenobi was good, but like,
It was pretty forgettable though.
it's forgettable.
Yeah.
Mandalorian started off great, and then season 3 is just like, what are we even doing?
I think a lot of shows, and this to me goes beyond even like Star Wars or Disney. A lot of shows have not forgotten, but they've decided to use their budget in this like roller coaster fashion, where instead of like having like a decently high bar like consistently throughout, it's like these peaks and valleys, right? Like, we're gonna spend a lot of money here, a lot of resources. We're gonna hire this director for these 3 episodes, and then we've kind of got these like filler episodes where it's like we're not. That's not where our money's going. It's not who we're hiring the best director for, and to me that's an industry problem, and it varies kind of creative team to creative team how worried I get about that. Ahsoka for me, like going into it kind of every week, it was a little bit like that, because like we've had some good stuff from like Rick, who did 2 of the episodes.
He did the finale and
I know he did the finale.
2
he
or
may
3.
Yeah, I think he did an early one too.
Yeah, I think it's either episode 2 or 3.
But then like Filoni did 3 of them, right? Or just
he wrote all of them.
Well, no, I understand that, but he directed a couple of them.
Episode 1.
No,
1 and 5.
I know he did 5.
5.
He did 5.
Yeah.
No, 3. It was like 3 and 6, maybe 3 and 5. I don't remember. I feel bad about this, but in any case,
it was. I know it was 5 because it was the Clone Wars episode.
Yeah, that's fair. In any case, that alone kind of made me nervous. That said, going forward, I will be less nervous about any Dave Filoni live action led project.
Same.
I think he's done a great job improving himself.
I think I need to just remember to like, he cares so much about these characters. They're all characters that he created.
Yeah.
Or at least helped create.
Dave Filoni will direct episodes 1 and 5. That's what it says.
He did do 1. Okay.
But yeah, once like you'd get into the episode, after every episode, I was always so happy. I think it was really satisfying to get such a good show that translates the animated shows into live action.
Yeah.
Which was something else I was nervous about. It's like, yeah, they all work great in animation, where you can pretty much get away with anything. And how will that translate into live action? I thought he did a really good job. And then just Ahsoka as a character is awesome. I thought she had a really awesome journey in the show, kind of overcoming the lessons she had been taught, which might not have been the lessons she overcame the lessons she had learned through what she had been taught by Anakin, which may have not came across. And I thought it was so well done. Somebody who's had so many great arcs through the Clone Wars and Rebels to get another one in her live action show was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, as the person in the group that hasn't watched the animated shows that Ahsoka, I mean, I've watched some of Clone Wars, not nearly all of it. I think the show does a great job of kind of catching you up on what you need to know in little like passing statements or conversations between characters. Those super appreciated, especially in the back half. I think from 5 forward, they do a really good job of kind of giving you little lines here and there that say, hey, this is the history here, or hey, this is why this character feels this way. And it's just super well done. You know, not just for me, but for Dana. Dana liked it a lot. I mean, even today, like, we were finishing watching it, and she was like, man, I really need to go catch up on all things Star Wars. It's like, I think that's a great kind of telltale for how good this show is.
Yeah. If a show makes you want to
catch up on all of it, then
watch
it's like
other things,
okay,
it's good.
then it's done its job, right? And
yeah.
I agree with everything Luke says, though. Like, Ahsoka is great as a character. Sabine is great as a character. It's Ezra is a great character.
Sure.
And honestly, like, I don't know if it'll be a hot take, but I want more Ezra stuff. With that actor specifically. I would love more there. That would be my only request.
Yeah.
And hopefully we get it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think for me, the biggest surprise was how they ended the show. And the promise of what's to come next. It didn't feel like a insert story to connect bigger, greater plot, right? You know, sometimes it's like, okay, we're filling in a very narrow gap. And this really felt like part one of this somehow new story, right? Like, they're characters we know. Thrawn's not new. We know the Rebels team. But we haven't played around with the New Republic too much. We've seen it a little bit for Mandalorian. But the fact that we kind of get a little bit more of establishment of here's where the universe is at, and it's not just a checklist of here's how this person got here, here's how they got out of this situation, and then here's how, like, that's plot, right? Like, I'm defining plot, which is silly, but like sometimes that's what Star Wars kind of just feels like it is. It's just plot points. And here it felt like we were exploring strange new worlds and tapping into some of the like more mystical stuff that Rebels, you know, kind of teased us with. And it's like, okay, well, if they're going forward with more, they have to address that. Like, they've set that up now in a way that I'm really excited for what comes next.
There's a awesome Clone Wars tease at the very end of the episode that if you haven't watched Clone Wars, you probably went, oh, that looks cool. But if you have seen Clone Wars, you were like freaking out.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for that.
So we've talked a lot about Ahsoka, some of the Rebels, the Alliance, but on the other side of this, we have the quote unquote, you know, kind of the gray Jedi, and Morgan and Thrawn, and like, how do the antagonists work in this show for you all?
Well, Thrawn is one of the best. Like, just carrying over from Rebels. He's also in Rebels, and I think they do a great job of just establishing him right away. Like, he's not a physical villain.
He's not like a brute strength dude. He's a tactician.
He's just like, that's okay.
I absolutely love how they show it too. Like, every way they show it is like, he sets this trap here. He makes this decision here, and like, you're like, yep.
Yeah, and
it doesn't feel like workarounds. It feels like solutions for him.
And just thank you for casting Lars Mikkelsen as him. Same voice actor as the show. I couldn't imagine it not being him. So, thank you for that. Balin Skull and Sean Hati, the two Dark Jedi, I think are super cool. I think going forward, their story is incredibly intriguing, especially with Balin. Because where he ends is just, it's kind of what I was talking about before. It's just like, what is he doing? What does it mean? What does it mean? But yeah, in Morgoth, I thought, like, just from the moment they revealed she was a Night Sister, like, just even in my mind, it's just like, oh, yeah, she's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
I thought they were all fantastic, and Morgan and Ahsoka's fight in the last episode was super cool.
It was very cool.
Loved that weapon too.
From Clone Wars.
Dope.
Have you met the Night Sisters in the Clone Wars when you watched it?
Are they in season 1 at all? I watched all of season 1.
I think they are.
I don't know.
I think they're in there pretty early.
Probably then.
Because Asajj Ventress is a Night Sister. Or Dathomir. I don't know if she was a Night Sister. I don't know the rules. But
no one does.
Yeah. There are no rules. Mother Talzin is their leader. Sword of Talzin.
Gotcha. Glad that was clarified because I would have known that. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to disagree, right? Like, I think they all work really well. I think Balin is my favorite, which is really unfortunate because Ray Stevenson passed away. But man, I just, he has so many, and this is very superficial, but he has so many like words of wisdom lines that he says, and you're just like, that should be on a t-shirt. Or like, I think in the finale he has a line that's like, rushing to victory guarantees failure or something. Defeat. And I was just like, oh, that's fire. I was like, that is amazing. Put that on a t-shirt, hang it up in a locker room, something. Like, but his kind of gravitas throughout the entire series just works so well with kind of what he's trying to accomplish. And I just don't think this can always be wrong, but I just don't know who you can cast to pick that up and run with it as well as he did.
Yeah.
Which is concerning. But overarching, I thought all of the antagonists were really good.
I know who they could cast.
Who?
He's in One Piece. He's Vice Admiral Garp. Just look him up for you. He's fantastic in the show.
So while Luke looks that up, I am really impressed with the layout of the cast.
That's what he looks like.
And when I say layout of the cast, I really mean layout of the groups, right? Because you do have this like master apprentice relationship with Ahsoka and Sabine, and then also Balin and Sean
Hati,
Sean, and
crazy lady.
They're kind of mirrored, right? Like there's this like dysfunctional relationship and this very like, I trust you, you're gonna get the job done. You know, at the end of the day, he's just like, you gotta go do this on your own, and like that is Ahsoka's like character arc is, you know, learning to trust in and believe in Sabine in a way that Balin believes in his apprentice. At the same time, you do have these almost the chess players, right? You have Thrawn, you have Hera, who they're not
they pull strings.
Right? They're trying to make things happen.
Shin Hati.
Shin, yes, that's right. Of course, should have silly me.
We're all like right there, but not even close.
No, I do love, you know, going back to the way he believes in Shin, and he has that line like, do this and take your place in the Empire. It's like he's basically telling her, go graduate, right? Like, go finish your final task. I got my own stuff going on, and I do love where they all end up. Like, I think I loved that there's mild spoilers, not really a clear winner.
Yeah,
I thought that was just a cool way to end it. Plenty of meat on the bone. but it didn't. Plenty of meat on the bone, but I don't feel like they're just doing it to get more seasons.
I love major spoilers here. I love how they leave half of the cast, the meat and potatoes of the cast who we were with the first season, just in the other galaxy.
Yeah, they switched the places of the protagonist.
Yeah.
And antagonist.
Yeah,
They're
and it's like
we're just gonna flip this now. And it's like
because I was worried we would just go there and be back.
Yeah.
Right, and then it's like, okay, now back to the familiar, and instead they do this really nice thing where we get people out of their comfort zones. Right, Thrawn has been exiled. Now he's coming back to Dathomir, and like, what does that mean? Ezra is back with Hera and the rebellion after 10 years of being apart, whereas, Ahsoka and Sabine are suddenly stranded on this strange planet, and you kind of have these
and
two...
the Dark Jedi too.
Well, and
yeah.
They're both there,
they're there for their own reasons. Like Balin seems like this
He's
was his goal.
Yeah.
He was not planning on leaving with Thrawn, and whereas Shin is kind of coming into her own as a master and is probably going to be leading this group of mercenaries or whatever they are, right? These people, and I just think that's so great to get all these characters in a place where they've grown, but also in a place where they're unfamiliar, and I don't know what's coming in the next season or whatever comes next, and that gets me really excited.
I think that's what makes the end so strong.
Yeah.
And that it's not like it's a cliffhanger,
but it's not one.
But it's not like it doesn't make you unsatisfied.
Right.
Yeah, you don't go when it ends. Like,
It's not
when
like
am
the
I
end
getting
of, like,
season 2? It's like it ends and you're like, okay, now I really want to know what happened.
Yep.
Like the end of Fast X.
Yeah, it's nothing like that.
No.
Like Ahsoka didn't put away her lightsaber, and then somebody like slashes across the screen and it goes to black, and you're like, what happened?
What?
Did they just kill the main character off screen? Like,
Yeah, everybody finds their piece in the end, but also there's a lot unresolved.
Yeah.
Which I think is just so cool.
Yeah.
They did a very good job tying a bow on this season. Very unconventionally.
Yeah.
And since I guess if we're in major spoilers,
Yeah, we can talk major spoilers.
Balin is standing on those statues at the end. And you should at least go watch these 3 episodes in Clone Wars, because
the Mortis gods.
Turns out they're going to be very important. I'm assuming, because you just wouldn't put those statues there.
Yeah.
But in those episodes, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka get like thrown in this time stopped place, and they meet like the gods of the Force, the Father, the Son, and the daughter. Ahsoka dies. The daughter puts her life force in Ahsoka, and that's why a lot of times you see the owl follow her around.
Okay. I was wondering what the significance of that was. I was like, what is this?
That's a connection to the daughter.
Okay.
And the daughter was like the light, and the son was the dark side.
And Anakin just like straight up owns them both.
Yeah.
Classic.
It's like a arc of them trying to be like, hey, you're the chosen one.
Yeah. It is kind of trying to play into that prophecy and like what does it mean to be the chosen one?
Yeah, and like at the end of that, you're like, man, that was awesome.
And then they just gotta go back to like,
and then it's
back to destroying droids
to the wars. and
we just kind of forget about it.
And like it's so significant too when you see the statue. There's the father he's standing on, walking on his arm. There's the son to his left, and the daughter to the right with her head cut off. Like, that could just be imagery because Clone Wars fans going, oh, the daughter's dead or whatever, but like,
what does it mean?
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
I need to know now.
That's
but
awesome.
Yeah, the moment I saw all that, and plus, like, he looks.
We may have just spoiled it for you, but still go watch it.
It's still fantastic.
I'm in season 2.
All right, you'll get
it's like
it.
season 5.
Yeah.
I'll get there one day.
You'll get to it.
I mean, I'll forget by the time I get to it, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
Because eventually, Bren will want to watch it because she loves Star Wars. I've learned.
Lucky you. What's that like?
And then you can watch the Siege of Mandalore, which is the last 4 episodes of Clone Wars, which is probably the best thing in Star Wars.
Sweet. So good.
Sounds great.
But like even Balin is like looking out in the distance. Looks like there's that light up there.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the Mortis area.
Yeah.
Just little prism thing. What does it mean? Oh, I can't wait. But yeah, that's.
That pretty much sum up thoughts on Ahsoka.
Yeah,
I'm just
really
curious
freaking good.
When will they? Well, with the writer's strike, like everything is going to be so far out.
Yeah. Like, has Filoni already started writing?
Or is he still working on his Mandalorian movie that he's doing?
Well, I think Mandalorian movie is after Ahsoka season.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are they doing a
would think so.
Mandalorian season 4?
Hot take: I'm pretty sure Dave Filoni does not care about the Mandalorian.
No.
That's Favreau. That's all Favreau.
Oh, okay. So he's not messing with that then.
I'm pretty sure Mandalorian might show up in season 2 of Ahsoka or the movie because he's a well-liked character. He's a cool character. But his show's done.
I kind of hope it is. I don't know if it...
I think everybody, after watching Mandalorian season 3, was like, okay.
I don't even remember how season 3 ends.
Oh, he gets a little house.
He gets a farm.
He gets a little farmhouse.
His feet were sitting up.
Grogu gets to play with the frogs.
Oh, dude, I totally forgot.
Remember
about this.
in Mandalorian season 2 when Grogu just eats that frog's kids? So weird.
Murder.
Well, do we want to give ratings to Ahsoka? I'll give it a fanboy worthy.
I give it a very strong fanboy worthy.
I feel like it would be a booyah if I had watched Rebels, though, I'll be honest.
I think it's fantastic. I think the quality is a booyah, but I think the thing that holds it back the most is if you haven't watched Clone Wars and Rebels, you still understand, but you don't get the... What was that?
Well, the little statue thing, like or the owl, like those are things I have no clue about.
Yeah, even when Mora shows up in Mandalorian, when in Ahsoka's episode, you're just like, what? What was that?
Yeah, it is a show that's built on, it's a
like
show that's built on other things, and it relies a little too much on that knowledge, right? Like, if you don't know who Thrawn is, I don't think Thrawn is quite as impactful of a character. I think the people around him are still really good. But like, I wouldn't say Stephanie was like, oh yeah, Thrawn's like the cool new baddie. I don't know.
I've read like the summary of his novels, so I kind of knew like this mofo is a bad dude.
The old ones or the new ones?
The old ones.
Okay.
The ones that Filoni probably pulls a lot of his inspiration
Oh
from.
yeah, for sure.
That's probably going to be the title of his movie, too. Heir to the Empire.
Yeah.
Great title.
Indeed. Yes. So I also will give it a very strong fanboy worthy. So
Good stuff.
Right where we like it.
That's the sweet spot, baby.
Star Wars is back!
For this 5 minutes.
For now.
Yeah.
For now.
What's next from Star Wars?
Skeleton Crew.
Oh yeah, I honestly forgot about that.
Who's in that?
Jude Law.
That's right.
Or is it The Acolyte?
The Acolyte's
actually,
also
the
coming
Acolyte
out. Yeah.
might be next. That sounds more right to me. Who's doing Skeleton Crew? Isn't it the dude who did Spider-Man: Homecoming?
John Watts?
Yeah.
I think so.
That sounds right.
I'm going to be hesitant on both. Just like I was for Andor, just like I was for Ahsoka. Like, okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay, yeah.
But, man, I love Star Wars, so I'll watch every single second they give me.
Yeah. True. All right. I guess we can do...
Did anybody watch Loki? This is a new Disney Plus show.
Oh, yeah, the first episode dropped, didn't it?
Yeah.
It sure didn't.
Did not either.
But my weekend was very busy, so... It will probably be the new show that Stephanie and I watch together kind of weekly. We'll just catch up. Not this week, but in 2 weeks. So.
I might watch the first episode, but I'm probably going to get rid of Disney Plus until the next Star Wars show comes out.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, what do we got news-wise? We'll talk about the Continental. I know I have it up on the lower thirds there, but we'll talk about the Continental here in our weekly updates and when we kind of do our other reviews. What news came out this week?
The Acolyte trailer leaked.
Really?
Today?
Just now?
The other day.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, they did a
I'm
good
trying
job of
to- I'm
covering
trying to
that up
find
because
it.
I had not heard that. Usually Star Wars Twitter goes a little crazy.
Well, Tyler's looking that up. I'll start off with the Writers Guild ratified the contract with the studios, so that strike is officially
It's Dunzo.
It was like a 99 to 1%. Like
Somebody
basically,
somebody still wanted.
someone was like, I can get a little more. Someone was probably like, I know that everyone else is gonna vote for it, so like out of a point of pride, I'm gonna say no. Still,
Or maybe they hit the wrong box. Sometimes was it digital? And you're just like,
it could be
Oh,
right. Boop,
no!
boop. Oh no. So that's great. That means we're officially one step closer to, getting new
to
things.
Netflix's next price increase. Because once the Screen Actors Guild strike ends, apparently they're gonna bump it up again. Even though they did it like 3 months ago.
It was not that long ago.
It's like, okay, I kind of get it. It sucks if you raise it every year. That's how
Yeah, bro. At least wait
it
12
works,
months.
unfortunately. You have to at least wait a year.
Yeah.
Like, don't be that cruel to your customers. That is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
They got rid of password sharing, then they went and raised the price again. It's too cheap. They will have the most expensive service.
The next thing that's kind of coming to, I don't know if we talked about it after the show or during the show last week, but the idea that Prime is going to it's an ad.
They'll have an ad option.
No, like it's the default is ad. So what you pay now is gonna get ads, and if you want no ads, you're gonna have to pay $2 more or $2.99 more.
Ads it is.
Yep, ads it is.
Thankfully, I get Prime for the shipping because I buy everything off it.
Yeah, we
Prime
use
Video
a
is
lot.
just like a little fun bonus.
It's like a bonus, yeah.
I just feel like any ad supported service needs to have a much lower cost. Like, I don't think your ad supported version should be above $9.99.
Is there a...
And most aren't, but that's what Amazon's will be. It'll be at that like $12.99 or $11.99, I think.
Is there a just Prime Video option? Like,
they bundle it all together so that
I don't want Amazon Music and Grubhub and...
It's possible they've
shipping.
changed that, but back in the day there was not. I looked it up.
Well,
a
it
couple
used to
years
be you
ago.
have to pay for the whole year.
Yeah,
Way
yeah.
back in the day. Back when it was like super cheap.
When it like $100 a year or something like that.
Good times.
What a time to be alive. We're in news, right?
Yep.
I was trying to find this trailer. I couldn't find it, but apparently it was a trailer from Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, okay.
People leaked it online.
Classic.
Disney got them though. So we talked a couple weeks ago about the Unity runtime fee controversy.
Yes.
Their CEO John Riccitiello stepping down amidst all of that.
I believe he said it was an early retirement.
Yeah, that.
Well, when you make $40 million a year or whatever he probably makes, you can do that.
Yep. So he stepped down, which
so I guess good riddance. But
it'll be interesting to see how quickly that all gets kind of recanted, reworked, shipped back out with a different bow on it.
just makes me think of the naked gun and a half meme. Leslie Nielsen was just like, "There's nothing to see here." Unity headquarters is just exploding behind him.
Other interesting news. You guys remember when Redfall came out?
Yes.
You remember that game? I downloaded it. I think I played it for
Never heard of it.
3.5 minutes, and then I was like,
I erased it from my mind. You played it less than it probably took to download it?
Probably, yeah. Yeah. Anyways, it got an update. Did you guys hear about this?
Now it's Game of the Year.
Apparently, they increased population in the open world, 60
frames.
FPS, changed up just kind of the way the game feels a little bit. And I've seen some stuff online, people talking good about it. Just
I assume they just made it playable.
I think that's pretty much what it is. The only change to the game they made outside of performance enhancements is making the overworld have more enemies in it. And people seem to like it. I don't know. I still won't be playing this, but
It's on Game Pass though, right?
it is.
Maybe we'll try it in another 6 months.
Yeah, people are like, this is the perfect time of year to play it. And I'm like, yeah, there's a
There's-
lot of games coming out.
yes, in terms of like the vibe.
Yeah, the vibe of it for sure.
There's like
There are
30
so many other
games you
good
can play.
games right now. Yeah,
So, but good on
And
them.
they're all super long.
I think they're moving on from it now. Like, I think that was kind of the end of it.
Yeah, they
No.
just had kind of one big...
They said they're going to keep updating the Redfall.
Oh, really?
It's getting like continuous support, yeah.
That's a bad idea.
That was from Phil Spencer's mouth, so...
That's such a bad idea. But
Dude, it's going to be the next best game.
it's going to be the next No Man's Sky.
Yeah. It's going to be 3 years from now, and people are going to be like, dude, the new Redfall update. It's the best thing I've ever played. Meanwhile, all 3 people playing it on Steam. The 2 people on Xbox Game Pass will be having their Redfall parties. And
I wonder how many people are playing on their Steam Decks.
Hmm.
I mean, it counts as Steam numbers.
Yeah. 1 on Steam Deck, 2 on PC.
Love it.
True gamers are on PC, I heard. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. My last news story is about Pacific Rim 2.
Yeah.
And how it originally had Guillermo del Toro attached to direct. But because they did not pay the deposits for sound stages, the production had to move to China. And Guillermo couldn't do it because it had scheduling conflicts with Shape of Water. And that's why he didn't do the sequel. I was like,
This is why you need good producers.
I was also like, this is strange that this timing is now that we're talking about this.
Yeah.
But I guess because of the other news with him this week and his Frankenstein movie.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he was doing some interviews and kind
Well, it's the
shared some of
10th anniversary of Pacific Rim, and so
Mhm.
it was back in theaters.
Gotcha.
Very select. I think mostly in the LA area. So I'm sure that was kind of on top of it. Like, hey, why didn't you go back to that? I mean, the reality of it is, it's business, right? Like, it's not necessarily that he didn't care about it. It's, hey, I've got this other
thing.
$50 million thing happening, and
So
they're paying on time.
Pacific Rim.
I mean,
3?
one of those. Look, Shape of Water and Pacific Rim 2. One of those won an Oscar.
Yeah, but one of them is a really
not.
good live-action anime movie.
No, I would.
Okay, live action is, really good is subjective.
I would have loved to have seen him come back for Pacific Rim 2, and I would love to see him do a Pacific Rim 3 if it was ever. The cards were ever on the table, but
Maybe one day.
maybe one day.
Hmm.
Yep.
So you know that Last of Us factions game?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about all this. Yeah.
Apparently, it is on ice.
Yeah.
And this comes like several months after. Apparently, Bungie took a look at it because they're the kings of games as a service, and they said this isn't live game. This isn't game as a service enough.
And they were just like,
And now it's
"Alright."
dead. So thank you, Bungie, for killing one of your competitors.
Hey, but good news. We're getting a Last of Us 2 remake.
Is that confirmed?
I think it's all but confirmed, yeah.
That game does not need a remake. Listen, that game is incredible. It's still one of the prettiest video games I've ever played. And that was on PS4. So it's so unnecessary. But hey, it's Naughty Dog, and this is what they do. They did it for Last of Us 1. Like, oh, new console generation? Remaster.
They're
New console generation? Remake.
Yep.
So, I guess it makes sense.
And I think the other one that
But I don't
Sony's
need to buy
doing
this
is Horizon. The first one's getting a remake too.
Maybe it's just a Sony thing.
I
They
don't
know people will just
Keep buying
toss
them.
money at it.
Well, they do it to coincide with the shows
Hmm.
that have been announced. But like, it feels like they're using resources in a really strange way.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
what do I know? I just
Last of
look
Us
here.
Factions is probably dead, and Bungie killed it. Bungie be killing it.
Bungie's the killers.
Hey, but that's what happens.
They're the
when
factions killer.
Jim Ryan was like, "We want to make every game a live service game." By Bungie.
Yeah, that is a strange deal. And there's a bunch of like game studio stories this week. I didn't collect them all, but like CD Projekt Red had a bunch of layoffs.
Gotta catch 'em all.
And apparently it's caused like some people to unionize.
There have been a
there's
number
3
of
gaming
layoffs.
studios that unionized like the other day.
Oh, wow.
Officially.
Yeah.
CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, but there was like another group of 3 that had a bunch of layoffs, and then those groups like unionized after the fact too.
Yeah.
So yeah, CD Projekt Red had layoffs. Telltale laid off like all of their people.
Again.
There's a bunch, man. Let's see if I can find that.
Even in the movie industry, I think DreamWorks laid off like 70 people this week.
Epic was the
Giant was
one.
the last week. Yeah.
Because they were like, we made poor decisions.
Yeah.
So we're firing our employees. Meanwhile, my paycheck is still huge. Download Unreal Engine 5 and
is padded.
Oh yeah, that's another story. Unreal Engine is now going to charge people to use it outside of games. Did you see this? So like if you're using it for like movies or shows, like it's gonna start costing differently.
Classic.
Yeah.
Nickel and dime, baby. Nickel and dime.
Right.
It's like Unity's back on the menu, boys.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
I will find this.
if when you do, Tyler, just interrupt us. But we'll start talking about kind of what else we watched this week because there are more news stories. Luke is shaking his head.
You just moving on. No, speaking of CD Projekt Red, live action Cyberpunk 2077 project.
Yeah. Forgot about this.
Huzzah! I don't know, maybe.
It's kind of nice to see a gaming studio be like, we have a great property.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
use it.
do stuff with it.
Yep.
That's true.
Like, we have a really good game. We have an awesome anime. And now we're going to try and make a live action something. I'm assuming it's a movie.
Probably. I would have, yeah.
But the Cyberpunk world is so awesome, and I can't wait to play Phantom Liberty. So I'm jazzed.
Avalanche Studios got layoffs, and they're doing some unionizing. One of them. Sorry.
What does Avalanche make?
They made Hogwarts Legacy.
I forgot that it came out this year.
That did so well. Why are they like...
They pay writers more.
But yeah.
I know that's not 100% true.
Should have hired better writers for that.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay, Luke, do you have more news or can I...
This one is, I don't know if you guys, this is my last one.
I don't believe you.
It is my last news story that I have. And I don't know if you guys care about this at all, but I love the TV show Monk. And it is getting a Peacock original movie, Mr. Monk's Last Case. Awesome show. One of the best detective comedies out there. Like that and Psych. Like there's just nothing better. So very, very excited for that. I didn't even know this was a thing. And all of a sudden, like Rotten Tomatoes today was like, here's images from the movie. Like,
What?
what movie? So I'm super excited about that.
Nice.
I watched an episode of Monk in college for a class.
I liked Monk quite a bit. I don't
That
know
was
if I
good.
like Monk enough that I'm like to be excited about a straight to Peacock film.
Have you watched the Psych movies on Peacock?
I watched the first 2
Okay.
because they have 3 or is
There's
the
3.
third one?
There's 3.
Yeah. They were good. They were good. I mean, I'm sure this will live up to the show.
Yeah.
Peacock has
And Tony Shalhoub is awesome.
has seemed to do well in that area of like, here's a movie based on a show, and like it kind of captures what the original. So that's great.
Mhm.
The last thing, I'm going to stop you because Baroque brought it up. The Daedalic Entertainment, the people who made Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Yeah.
Tons of really bad allegations coming out of all of that. Unpaid overtime, things like that. Whereas like you have to do overtime, but we're not going to pay you for it. So horrible work environments. What else was there?
ChatGPT wrote their game, apparently.
Their apology.
Their apology?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, ChatGPT.
Okay,
wrote
that's
their
not as
apology.
bad, but that's still pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
So the company, including reportedly enforcing uncompensated overtime, allegedly trying to pay staff below minimum wage, and a toxic work environment cultivated by an alleged abusive leadership. This is from Wesley Yen-Pool at IGN. So there's a long laundry list of issues that kind of came into play around this game.
If you want to really
speaks to its failure.
If you want to watch a really entertaining video, go watch Skillup's review of that game.
Does he like lose his mind?
He doesn't. He plays it for like, I think he only played half the game, and he's like, I can't play this anymore. It is so bad. Oof. And this is like pretty soon after he reviewed Redfall too. And like in the Redfall review, he's like, this is gonna be the worst game of the year. And Gollum, he's like, I was wrong. This is the worst game of the year.
Oof. All right. Well, now that we've kind of gotten through our little news section there.
I'm just kidding.
I don't. Why did I come on the show tonight?
We don't know.
I don't know.
Because you love us.
I just
sometimes do.
Can't get enough of you.
Because if you're not here, it would be a train wreck.
I really
Let's be
do.
honest.
I really do want to just let you two do a show sometime and see what it would be like. I'm very curious.
We'd be done in 45 minutes.
Just
to
believe
spite you.
I don't believe you.
Just
at
to
all.
spite you, Luke and I would do it like really structured. Like make it like a super structured episode. Get out 45 minutes.
I bet we could go under 30.
Probably. Brett would be sitting out there like, you've got to be kidding.
Like 23,
Those
24 minutes with ad breaks, so it's an even 30.
Love it. We should just like cook up a bonus episode for one day when Brett does that. Make it.
Just read papers. I watched One Piece. It was good.
Fanboy worthy. Moving on.
And that's it.
5
That's
minutes.
all she wrote.
Brett
Okay.
would hate us so much.
He remembers.
That is true.
We all did a number of different things this week that are like not consistent across each other. So real quick, we'll just kind of go through what we did this week, give you some reviews on things we finished or impressions on things we started. I'll start with my wife and I finished Foundation Season 2. That show got way better in Season 2. I don't think it's necessary. Luke hated Season 1. And I'm not sure I would recommend it to him.
I hated the couple episodes I watched of Season 1. You know, it's my added level of what do we ratings that we have, where it's couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, it couldn't be bothered.
I don't have time to watch this.
Yeah. Season 2 is really good. I think it still leans a little heavily on a few tropes to try and kind of pull the rug out from under you. At the same time, it's a way more personal story than Season 1. And you kind of feel that, and the characters are more established. You kind of feel like it's getting its footing underneath it, and I'm really excited for Season 3. The fanboy worthy in my mind.
Nice.
So was Richard Harris ever actually dead? Or Jared Harris ever actually?
Richard Harris.
Yeah. Was he ever actually dead?
Yeah. Dude, the whole thing with him is insane, and that's one of the things I'm talking. Like, they make you think people are dead, and then they just bring them back, and like they rely on that a little too much. I think.
I should read that book.
I don't think it has all that much in common with.
Yeah,
the
I don't think it
show,
does.
Sounds like a CW show.
But
I have the book.
yeah, you should read it sometime.
It's sitting on my shelf. It's super short.
But it's I think they've introduced some really good new characters. They've worked on expanding and helping you care for the characters, some of the characters that are there that are from the first season. And they do set up the stakes by the end of the second season. It really feels
stakes, screw them up.
It feels like the world is way more on the brink than the end of the first season, or I say the world, the universe, because it's the whole galaxy. The other thing I watched this week was the Paw Patrol movie.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
go.
Yeah, Claire and Steph and I went out and watched that. It is an episode. It is an extended episode of the Paw Patrol.
Nice. Just like the other
Just
movie.
like the other movie.
Yeah.
It is beat for beat the same movie.
Nice.
Just with a focus on a different character. Instead of focusing on
Chase,
we focus on Sky this time.
Oh, good.
And they have superpowers.
And they have superpowers.
Bryn will love that.
Yeah.
She likes Sky.
Yeah. So Sky gets the her ability to fly. Sky becomes Superman.
Nice.
Supergirl. So
Superdog.
Superdog.
Crypto.
there is just about. I mean,
do they make a joke about the merch selling like hotcakes again? Because that joke actually makes me laugh.
Kind of.
It makes me laugh in the first one.
They have a like, and there's more merch than ever. Sorry, parents.
Dude, like, in the moment in the first movie, it's like, oh yeah, look at all this merch, this Paw Patrol merch. It sells like hotcakes, and I like actually laughed out loud, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're definitely speaking to the parents. And anything with Humdinger, I feel like it's like, I'm an unqualified politician, and I was like, when did this movie come out? Okay, I know what we're saying here.
Humdinger's not quite as good in this one, but he's really a secondary villain.
Gotcha.
And
the Meteor is the main villain.
The Meteor. Yeah. No, the mad scientist who claims she's not a mad scientist continually.
Classic
indeed. But yeah, look, it's fine. Your kid will probably like it. There's not really anything to worry about content wise in terms of, there's I am not looking for it, but I tend to notice when there are things that certain groups of people might find offensive, right? And like it was very free of that. So like a very unoffensive movie.
Chase isn't throwing out F-bombs.
No.
Or
he's not
being sidelined as a police officer in the city.
Exactly. Look, I'll probably give it like a Matthew McConaughey. Like it looks good.
Let's say it like legit looks like a superhero movie.
The animation is well done. The characters are good. The voice acting is good. The story is passable. Your kid will enjoy it. It's a Nickelodeon thing, so I'm not exactly sure where Paw Patrol is at streaming wise. Is it on Peacock?
Paramount.
Oh, Paramount.
Or YouTube TV.
Yeah.
Because that's how we.
But like, there just aren't a lot of kids movies that come out. There are, but
not like this.
If you've got a kid that kind of is interested in it, like I would take them to the movie because they'll have a good time. And
you didn't hate your life watching it.
No.
Right? Yeah. See.
No.
That's the rating scale for these movies.
Did you want to fall asleep?
No, it moves pretty quick. In fact, maybe the worst part of it. Lord, my chair is trying to break. The worst part of it is that there's like a 5-minute Dora the Explorer short at the front of this movie. You know how sometimes Pixar will throw on like a little short, except
for Coco, where it's a 20-minute.
Those are actually good.
Interlude.
Those are actually good. This was awful.
You wanted to say something else there.
I wanted to just gouge my eyes out of my sockets.
I do want.
Do you see the blue boots?
Oh my god!
I do want it on the record that the Frozen short film before Coco or whatever.
Oh,
is horrible.
It was like It was like the TV show episode.
Yeah.
It was like a pilot.
It was like 25 minutes long and it was horrible.
Yeah.
And that's after watching 30 minutes of trailers.
No, that was worse simply because of its length, right?
Yeah.
So this one was shorter, but it was still just like where the Paw Patrol was an extended episode of the Paw Patrol, this was a condensed episode of Dora the Explorer, and I just hated it.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. I'll
so
be honest.
if you're going to go watch this,
just to watch that.
Just the Dora.
If you want to go see the Paw Patrol movie, you just know that that's gonna be there. It's a good opportunity to go use the bathroom.
Nice.
As soon as that little Dora the Explorer thing just starts.
Very cool.
That's all I did this week.
No Tallgrass?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can't really talk about each movie.
I went to Tallgrass Film Festival here in Wichita. It's awesome. It's always great. I do a nice mix of like panels and also going to and seeing films. I had a lot of the short stuff. We got together. Tallgrass does a great job of having like a virtual.
And that's through the month too.
Yeah, a virtual pass. Even if you buy the regular pass, you can buy the virtual pass separately. But if you get the $100 pass or whatever, the virtual stuff comes with it, so we can continue to watch those throughout the month of October. And there's some really good things. There were some really weird things. There were some not so good. I mean, nothing was bad. There's some weird things. I think Tallgrass does a really good job of having a diverse catalog. Just meaning like you're not going to go there and just see the same stuff over and over again. That's just trying to be, I don't know, Oscar baity
film festival
stuff.
Yeah.
They do a really good job highlighting different kinds of storytellers. They have an award like African American filmmakers that brings in some really good films. They have some student film competition stuff, documentaries. Like it was all really good. I think my favorite so far that I've seen. I may be a little biased. I got to sit next to this filmmaker as they showed her short, and so like it was fun to watch her watch The Room. It was called Passing Through, and it was in the dramedy shorts. It's very much a drama, not a dramedy, but there are some haha moments. But that one was, you could just tell it's a very personal story to the filmmaker, and I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
So, Tallgrass Film Festival. It's a booyah! Go next year. You didn't this year, and you're in the Wichita area, or not? Come visit. Come visit us.
Come hang.
We need the economy.
I'll go real quick, just because I didn't do a ton of new things, but I did get to boot up Assassin's Creed Mirage for a little bit this weekend. This is the new Ubisoft original.
That's right.
Assassin's Creed Mirage. This was originally planned as a DLC for Valhalla that quickly expanded into a full game, much like the Miles Morales game.
Yep.
But what they were trying to do, there's a character named Basim in Valhalla that they introduced, and they wanted to give you some backstory on him, so he got his own game. Thus births Mirage. Set in Baghdad, which is really cool. Very different than most of the other games. It's really interesting moving around the city and hearing the call to prayer at certain times. And, so they've really made Baghdad feel alive, which I think is great. But I think the most important part of this game is that it does come back to the roots of what made Assassin's Creed, and that is that it's a stealth game.
Yeah.
It's not a giant RPG or skill trees. 3 lanes, 6 skills. I can do this, and this. It's nothing insanely, complex. Very simple. There is an area called the Wilderness that's big. You can ride a mount, go out there and collect things. There's a few like side quests out there. I'm about 4.5 hours in. It's a short game, about 15 to 20 hours. It's about a quarter of the way through, and I'm having a really good time with it. It feels like a modernization of the old Assassin's Creed games. There's even ways you can get the old control scheme back by changing some settings around, which I think is cool. I did it for a little bit. It didn't feel quite as good as it used to. Naturally, I mean, control schemes have changed so much. But
yeah. I remember I went and played the British one where he plays the twins.
Syndicate? I never played that one.
But it was after I played Origins, and the controllers were all different.
Like the old school control scheme?
I only lasted about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, nope, we can't do this.
Yeah, it's the old school control scheme, while good at its time, is definitely outdated.
Yeah.
But no, it's just really nice to be able to parry, kill, because that's how Assassin's Creed began.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Basim, the main character. He's played by, he is played by Lee Majzoub. He is from the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. He's the agent that's with Jim Carrey. And then Shohreh Aghdashloo.
Oh yeah,
from The Expanse.
Living legend.
She plays Roshan. She's kind of you're like her apprentice within the Brotherhood. She's really good. The game is very much.
She's one of my favorite voice actors.
She's really good.
God, so awesome.
She's better than the guy who voices Basim. I think you can tell like the way they've edited some of the voice acting. It just kind of sounds a little wonky. But this game did not have a big budget. I've seen a lot of people talk about this studio needs the budget to go and make a full classic Assassin's Creed game, because it is really good. And it does feel like classic Assassin's Creed. And the soundtrack absolutely slaps. Do yourself a favor. Listen to Assassin's Creed soundtracks, even if you don't play the games. They're always good. But I'm really looking forward to more time with Mirage. I probably will not get to do much with it this week, but I'm hoping to beat it in the coming weeks leading up to Spider-Man, and I can hopefully give you guys a full review Then,
Nice.
Luke, take it away, my friend.
I've got a couple things.
Nice.
Firstly, I watched the third and final episode of the Continental.
Yes.
First episode was okay. Second episode was okay, and the third episode was okay.
All right.
Third episode had a lot more action in it, which was really nice.
Welcome change.
Yeah. It's like, this is the John Wick universe, and I'm watching an hour and a half of something where there's just, like, no action. Whereas, like, episode 3 is, like, they're attacking the hotel. It's just almost violence the whole way through.
Pure chaos.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
But that being said, like, I don't really understand everybody's motive. I shouldn't say understand. I don't believe any of them. Like with the cop lady and Winston and Yin, like, it's just like they're telling me they want to do this stuff, and I'm just like, I don't believe you. I don't think the acting is very good, and there's really no surprises along the way. But yeah, the action was fun. It was good enough. In the last episode. But there's no reason to download Peacock and watch it.
Yeah.
It's a Matthew McConaughey, but it came and now it's gone. I'll just look forward to the ballerina movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. You guys don't need to finish it.
Cool.
if you weren't interested after episode 1.
Yeah.
I wasn't chomping at the bit to get
No.
back to it.
No.
Yeah.
Unfortunately not.
Especially after my favorite character died. And was only,
Frankie.
Yeah, the only good actor in the show, I felt like.
Yeah.
So.
I think the only character I legit really liked was the adjudicator, the girl with the mask.
Yeah.
She's only in it for like 3 minutes.
Oh.
Because like she pops up and does like a thing.
Yeah.
And then she's not in the rest. And then she pops up and does a thing. And then she's not in the rest.
Yeah.
Which that might be why she's interesting, because like they hold her back. And
Yeah.
They leave enough mystery that you're like, ooh.
No, not really. But not at the end.
I meant like episode.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it ends and you're just like, okay, yeah, this is the point we had to reach.
We checked the box.
Yeah. Yeah. It's alright. Matthew McConaughey. Alright. I started and finished another show, though, which was very satisfying. And I mentioned it earlier, which is One Piece, the live-action adaptation on Netflix. It came out a while back, I think like a month or so ago, maybe.
I think it was, beginning of September.
Yeah. And I remember when the trailer released, I was like, this looks really fun.
Yeah.
I think I might check
Yeah,
it
we were
out.
sitting here watching it. We were like,
Yeah.
dude, this looks good.
Yeah. And I was doing other things when it released. I was probably playing Starfield.
It's right around that time.
Yeah. That's September 1st, so yeah, probably. So there's just so many other things happening. And then this week, I wanted to start another show, but like, I wanted to find something that wasn't like everything else seems like it is. Like the thing that just released was Gen V.
Yeah.
The Boys spinoff. I was like, I don't know if I can take another shock factor, gross, oh my goodness, look what they just done, taboo, every genre of everything TV show.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck is there that I could watch? And I was like, One Piece. So I threw it on when I was eating dinner, and first episode, hooked, and I binged the crap out of it this week.
Nice.
8 episodes, awesome characters, awesome fighting. The makeup work, a lot of it is practical. I'd say most of it is practical. So like Arlong is like a fish man. He has a spiny nose. Looks awesome.
Yeah.
How's the chef dude?
Fantastic. I love everybody in the show. I think the only times characters aren't as good is when you flash back and you have to get them as kids, the children just aren't as good.
Yeah.
Outside of Luffy, because he's exactly the same.
Let the people who write these animes, these mangas, be part of the show's creative teams.
Yeah.
One Piece is a good example.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's the best part about it. Well, I shouldn't say that. One of the best parts about it is it's just a happy show. Happy. I don't know if that's the right word. It's positive.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Like every episode is, we're gonna do the thing.
Yeah.
And everybody's like smiling.
And they believe it.
The show, like at least the first season, Luffy's entire thing is like, what's your dream? I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna help you. And we're gonna also accomplish my dream. And it just makes you feel so good. And you're like, I gotta watch the next episode. And then, yeah, it's fantastic.
Is it getting a season 2? Have they said?
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome.
When I started it, and the first thing I saw underneath the description is season 2. It's coming, or it is happening. It's official or something.
Yeah.
I like that they put that on Netflix now.
Yeah, that's a good change.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic show. It's an easy fanboy worthy. If you're kind of like me, you just want to watch something that's fun, makes you feel good. Awesome fantasy world. That's like, you don't often think about a fantasy world revolving around pirates. It's usually like magic, fantasy, or space fantasy, like Star Wars. And it's like, no, like there's some superpowers, but everybody's either a pirate or hunting pirates or dealing with pirates, and it's absolutely fantastic. High recommendation.
Sweet.
And then in the gaming world, I forgot to talk about this last week, and I'll just do it really, really quick. I beat Starfield. And started New Game Plus, and was like, I don't really want to do this all again. So I kind of put it to bed for the time being until...
Well, and you did everything on your first playthrough, right?
I did everything.
Yeah.
Outside of if it's in my activities tab. Which sometimes those can turn into longer quests.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's, can you hand out 5 of these pamphlets?
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes they say no. So you actually have to do it 6 times.
So you did the whole, you did all the faction quests. You did the main story. You did...
I'll just say this. When you get to that ending room, and it's like, here's the things you've accomplished. I had like 10 things to go up to. And it took a really long time because you have to walk
move really slow.
Yeah.
really slow. I was like, don't accidentally trigger something by walking too close. Oh, it took me forever. But yeah, I got to see all the results of like my companion romance and all my different factions and all the characters I met along the way. So
Nice.
it was a lot of fun. I think it's fanboy worthy. I think Bethesda is pretty far behind in RPG world, especially because I started another RPG this week, which is Baldur Gates. New name.
The letters are all there.
Baldur's Gate 3, and I'm only, 20 hours in or something. I've got 146 in Starfield, so it's like hard to compare, but I've been having so much fun. It is literally D&D, the video game. Like, you hear people say that, and you're like, but how D&D is it? It's pretty freaking D&D. Like, the things you can do is... It feels limitless because there's 14 whatever classes that you can choose. And in my first playthrough, I'm a druid. And I've been having a lot of fun with that. I've got several companions in my little party, and I've kind of been moving around, and I have killed some others because they were doing bad things. So there's like, even I just recognize that right there. It's like I can choose a different class, and I can choose different companions along the way.
Yeah.
So like I'm already recognizing the replayability, but the open world is awesome. The combat is incredible. Like the turn-based D&D combat, and it doesn't have, like in D&D, technically you're supposed to have, I think, a time limit on how long you can take to
Make your turn.
Make your turn. I think it's depends on the DM.
Yeah.
But like it just pauses and you can take as long as you want. And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's a hard game. I was in a goblin camp and I was trying to.
Dude, everybody I've talked about this game talks about the goblin camp.
It's like the first place, major
big,
place you go to, and I'm trying to take out these leaders, and I am struggling to just make it so I don't have to fight everybody. So like trying to sneak and take out their archers that are kind of far away. Can I get these people out of the room somehow? And then there's still like the boss and 10 other goblins you have to find. It's just like, oh my gosh. The difficulty it's really fun to try and figure out.
Have you done the owlbear from the top rope thing yet?
No. I found the owlbear. I talked to it and it was like, you should leave. And I was like, I'm a druid. I'll leave.
Yeah,
Peace
there's
out. I'm not
like
about killing animals, dude.
That's okay. So you're thinking of something different. So like one of the cheese mechanics that everybody does is like they get a druid who can turn into like an owlbear or something big.
Mm-hmm.
They go really high in the air and they just jump and land on stuff.
I might be able to do that down the line.
It's like the cheese mechanic. So like they're like one-shotting the hardest bosses in the game and stuff.
Oh my god!
Because they just climb up really, 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 really high and then jump off of it and land on bosses.
My characters are only level 4 right now.
I think the cap is 12.
Yeah.
So you're cool.
I still have
third of the way.
I still have open slots left in my wild shape area. So
get that owlbear from
get
the top
that owlbear. The combat is so much fun though.
Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! I typed in owlbear.
Owlbear from the top.
It's literally the first thing that pops up.
That's awesome. But yeah, it really is incredible what Larian has done. And hold on, let me see this nonsense.
This is owlbear from the top rope. I wish I could show people, but this is like the cheese mechanic of the game. So people just try to get up really, really high and just body slam everything. See, they enlarge it so it gets like really big.
Oh
See?
my gosh!
And then they just jump. Boom, dead.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. I probably don't have the patience to go all the way up there.
But yeah, it's like a funny thing. I watch a lot of videos of people doing that because I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I tried to like stay away from stuff because I wanted to experience.
Yeah,
how you would play it.
I knew I was gonna play it. It's just a matter of when. So I was like, okay, let's not keep watching all these videos. But yeah, man, it is so much fun. It's the perfect video game for the person that wants to play D&D, but doesn't have the time to meet up with 4 people all the time. Like, you can play solo, and you're pretty much the DM outside of the story. Like, you control every character, control where you go, you control the decisions of everybody, and literally just kill off companions, piss you off. I'd assume I haven't tried, but
it sounds great. I'm excited to play it.
It is amazing. I think it'd be a great like DM's tool too. Like you're our DM.
Yeah.
It's your first time DMing. I've never DM'd before, but it's like, okay, I can kind of see how I could build an arena for like a combat area, and then even like make it a puzzle or make it just all out difficult combat. Because like even like in the goblin camp, there's these drums that they'll hit and just goblins come swarming. So like you gotta break the drums so they can't call for reinforcements. So like I think it's just a great D&D tool.
Yeah.
But yeah, cannot wait to keep playing. It's what it's doing before I came over here. I usually get over here pretty quick, hang out with Brett.
Not today.
Yeah, it was pretty late today.
It's all good. I forgive you.
I stomped a hyena's head in because it was turning into a monster. Put it out of its misery. Poor guy. Man, I was a druid.
What classes are available?
All the D&D classes.
Sweet. Excited to play.
Cool. Is that it?
Yeah. Oh, I should say, there is an audio bug on PS5 with the 3D audio.
Mm-hmm.
It's really the only con I have, and it has nothing to do really with the
From your
game.
controller?
No, just you have to turn off 3D audio on your PS5. It like there's some bug where it's not working.
No, they'll get that fixed at some point.
It was
yeah,
like I
that's
started the game, and I was playing, and then you talk to an NPC, not a companion, just an NPC, and there's just no dialogue.
Yeah,
that's the bug.
Oh, that's annoying.
People you talk to don't have audio, and it's just like, what the heck is this? That was weird. Figured it was a one-time thing. No, it was like all of them, and I was just like, and it worked at the beginning too. It was like,
so you just Googled it and you found out?
Yeah.
Ugh. Unfortunate. Well, yeah, they'll figure it out eventually.
One of them days.
One of them days. All right. Well, like we kind of alluded to at the beginning of the show, we may or may not have an episode next week. We'll see how we're feeling. We have a very busy weekend. Very excited about it, but it will be very busy and we will be very tired.
I'll be here.
Luke will show up no matter what.
He's gonna record Solo Dolo next week.
It'll be a tight 15.
It'll be like Draymond Green and Micah Parsons. Just do a one man.
I'll be making up my hours to my wife.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, I'm taking you away.
Apologize to her, not me.
Sorry, Dana. Not getting an apology for that.
Yeah, it should be alright.
It should be good. Alright, well, until our next episode, whenever that may be. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out in Twitch and chat. Baroque and Roller tonight, holding down the fort. We'll see you when we see ya. Until next time.
Goodbye.